All right, guys, welcome to week 6. Week 6's agenda is going to be to focus on units 12 and 13 of your textbook. Unit 12 is talking about footings, and Unit 13 will talk about or focus on foundation walls. All right, so this is where we're going to begin to figure out how to interpret these two key concepts when we're blueprint reading. So your assignments for the week, we're going to read the units 12 and 13, and then using your textbook and the plan at 1402 Charles Street, we are going to click on the assignment link and complete the questions. So there's 15 questions, and then the assignment's going to be worth a total of 30 points. And then, of course, at the end, after that, you will fill out your journal and let me know a couple of key points that you have learned for the week. So, after you guys are done reading these two units, what I thought I would do is actually go into 1402 Charles Street. So, before I do that, there's going to be some key terms and some key points that you should really get to know. And if you click into the folder, I have units 12 and 13 like laid out in reference form, so I have some notes in it, so some key points. I would use those and just try to remember some of those things. So the purpose of the footing, the two types of footings that are most common. So we have slab on grade and then footings and foundations. How the foundation wall is tied into the footing. So we're going to use dowels or uprights. And the other way is a keyway. And so those types of things, guys, get to know those. I also have one for the foundation walls. So let me click into Charles Street though and just give you guys an idea of how I interpret the drawings. So if I'm looking for information for my footings and foundation walls, what I like to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my foundation plan. So here it is here. So let me just blow that up a little bit. So on a foundation plan, what you guys need to understand is this is what the concrete guys, the concrete contractors use, and all of the dimensions and everything they need is on this plan. So this is what they use to lay out and dig for the footings and form up the foundation walls using their forms. So they use these dimensions in order to do so. So now, how do they get the information, to know how wide and how deep to make the footings and so on? Well, the architect in this case has a very, very busy plan, but there's information on this plan view that can help you. And let me just show you a couple key things. So if I wanted to know something about this foundation wall here, there's notes on this foundation plan. So in this case, we have the architect wrote, there's a leader line pointing here, and it says an 8-inch by 96-inch poured wall on a 16-inch by 8-inch footing, and then some information. It says with two rows of number 4 bar. So you'll learn that reinforcement is rebar, and rebar is going to be numbered in 1/8-inch increments. So number 4 bar would be 4/8 or 1/2 inch. All right, so there's information here. Over here, it looks like we have a 6-inch poured concrete wall, 16-inch by 8-inch footing, and then again, it's 2 rows of number 4 bar. Things like this, as you get to know, code language about foundation walls, and you start, getting a little bit more familiar with visualizing things. I know that this here is part of my front entry or front stoop. And generally this is going to be a little bit narrower of a wall because inside here they'll backfill this, and then on the exterior of it, that's also going to have fill. So this does not have to support anything because there's earth on both sides of this wall. So anyway, the foundation plan is an important one to go to. But if I wanted to get more specific information, guys, I would go to my wall section detail. So right here. So maybe I'll zoom out a little bit. And so with this, I'm going to have all kinds of information from the footing all the way up to the roof system. All right. So let's just look at this a little bit, and I will zoom in on here. So here it's a little bit clearer to see because this is a section of what the actual footing is going to look like. It's a 1 inch to 1, equals 1 foot. So it's a little bit bigger. It's a bit easier to see. So all the information that I just got done showing you on the foundation plan is also going to be here. And so here we have, the total width of the footing, the depth of the footing. It's going to tell you, what's in it for concrete reinforcement. All right, so here's, here's the footing, and then here's your foundation wall. It's going to tell you, the width of it and everything. So, and then all kinds of information with leader lines and information, that we can use to very quickly and easily pick out information from, okay? So this is another good spot to go and look for a little bit more detail. And you guys will be referenced this quite a bit, as well as the foundation wall. One last thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but on this foundation wall, there was a reference mark or a call out here, and then you'll see a line that's cutting all the way through this thing, okay? So this is a through section, right? So if you remember how to read this from a previous unit, the first number is going to be the drawing number, and then the second number is going to be the sheet that it's found on, and then there's an arrow here, this darkened area. This is going to be the direction in which we're looking at it. So if we go to this through section, we're going to see that this is a section view cut all the way through the house. So we're going to see this, our footings here. We're going to see the concrete floor. We're going to see any interior footings or haunches here. All right. And let me just kind of show you here. So we're seeing everything, again, from the footing all the way up. But then if you see a little note here, this is actually a detail, okay? And this, again, is pointing to a more specific detail, which is our foundation wall. So drawing 1A1 is actually right over here, a foundation wall detail. And this is getting a little bit more honed in on what's going on. So we have an 8-inch concrete wall, and it's telling you what's in it for reinforcement. And then on the inside, it's going to show you, what they're calling for inside materials, all right? We have rigid foam, it looks like here, and then a 1/2-inch air space, and then in front of that will be a 2x4 stud wall. So this is, again, another spot you guys can go. So this is just how we're reading plans. And then, of course, we've got some elevations here shown. Top of footing, top of basement floor, and so on. All right. And I believe even on the section view, it's actually shown here. We'll just look. Yeah, it is. So top of footing would be right here. Here's an elevation for that. And then an elevation reading. If you see these little symbols here, these are elevation readings. And then top of floor is right here. So guys, this is how you acclimate yourself and start looking for information as it pertains to the footings and the foundation wall. So you guys will be doing this quite a bit in blueprint reading. And so that's all I have for you for this week. Again, if you have any questions or you need to get a hold of me, you can email me, you can text me, you can call me, or just use the discussion board and I can get with you and answer your questions that way. So guys, have a good week. Work on those questions, and we will see you soon.